Hey everybody, we're back again. I got Crunch, I got Alan, I got Tom, all sitting here in our fine studio.
I'm here.
Good afternoon, Mike.
Welcome back, Alan.
Hey.
You went to Wisconsin.
I did.
Why?
He actually had a choice between Florida and Wisconsin, and for some reason chose Wisconsin.
And he chose Wisconsin. I don't know. That's a little.
It was like -8 when I woke up on Sunday morning. Wasn't that bad?
Well, it was probably pretty damn close to that here anyway. So it's not like you really went from bad to worse.
It didn't feel like culture shock. It felt about the same. They have a lot less snow on the ground, too.
Point is, it could have been in Florida.
Could have been. No,
Yeah.
I went to visit a racing friend of mine for a lot of years, Jeff Wick, Jim's car shop. Got to see his new ride for the season. He's going to be driving a nostalgia super stock Thunderbolt, for the season, setting it up for the owner. And, just nice to visit. We got to see the Hemi Daytona Pro Stocker sitting there in the trailer.
Does it run, not the Hemi, the super stock thing? Does it run an actual class or is it nostalgia?
Nostalgia super stock. They all run together.
Okay.
So it's NSS. It's like a bracket race.
I don't think it's a bracket race. I think it's pretty much, everybody runs somewhere mid-eights.
Okay, because we were just talking about bracket racing off the air. Probably shouldn't bring that up, right?
Yeah,
No, because I'm just going to make it look worse and worse.
Yeah,
and worse.
don't. All right,
Crunch,
all right.
do you watch any circle track stuff?
Circle track, not
How
necessarily.
about Formula One? Anything?
Formula One? Every now and then I might check into a Formula One race.
Okay. So listen, I'm not trying to hate on the bracket guys. I'm not, but so everybody understands the other side of this. Imagine you turned on a Formula One race. I don't know. Let's say an indoor motocross race, any kind of race where the guys to make multiple laps
Correct.
And go faster than everybody else.
and go faster than everybody else and get to the finish line first. That's how you win.
Gotcha.
Okay. You make all these laps, and then at the end of the race, they say, okay, well, this guy got penalized, this guy got penalized, this guy got penalized because they went too fast. Or if you would set a limit on the time that you could get around the track, or you can't go around the track any faster than 30 seconds.
Gotcha.
So now the guy goes across the start-finish line, up, 29.9, you got to go to the rear.
Gotcha.
That's kind of like what bracket racing is.
Okay. I take it turns you off.
Wow, deceptive.
No, because it had to be there. It
Right.
had
It
to
did.
happen.
I mean, there's definitely some talent there. It's unbelievable.
It's an art.
It's boring to watch. though.
It's boring to watch, but I will say to the guys that do it, I am not saying they don't have talent because to be able to hit that number
Dead on.
dead on, with changing weather and everything else, that's tough.
And I got to tell you, Top Dragster now, which is the fastest bracket class, there's cars that go 670, 660.
Yeah, so you're hitting that number at that
And
intake.
flying.
And getting it on the 100th.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't easy.
And you got to be right on the light. I mean, you got to be right every time.
Right.
I mean, there's, 3,000 packages that lose races. It's kind of crazy.
Speaking about being right every time.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Now,
Rub it in.
I will let Tom a little bit off the hook.
Okay.
A little bit.
With the half mile stuff?
Yeah, a
He's
little bit.
Barely going to let me off the hook.
Okay.
He
So-
did not know it was street tire only. Neither did I.
Yeah, we didn't know.
We didn't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
So big tire car like Anthony's car.
Well, why don't we backtrack? We were trying to set up a race,
Yeah, we were trying to set up a race.
like a big money race with one of my GTR or underground, or not one of my, because I don't know the underground guys. I was going to call one, but a GTR or a Lambo against Anthony's top dog.
But you see, this all started because you're like, dude, no way. You were like, we'll go back. You were like, there's no way,
You're
no
right.
way,
Yeah,
no way.
I was.
Alan, I think we're going to have to sit back on this one
I'm just watching this one play
because
out.
this one is looking like it might get a little rough in the studio.
No. See, there's nothing rough about it. And I mean,
Nope.
all the respect in the world to Tom with his opinion. He was wrong. With
Shots fired.
No, Mike thinks I was wrong.
Right.
Did your guys say
with
when you called up with that? Did they say, yeah, we'll do that? Bring him down.
No,
Why?
because they don't want to race on the track in Virginia
Okay,
because it's not going to be prepped.
they
enough
want a
for
prep
them.
track.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be there. How's that? Can we race on a prep track?
I hear you.
What'd they say?
Then they said they'd rather have a bigger tire.
Oh, wait a minute.
Right. So the element that was missing was the tire.
No, I think logic is what was missing.
No,
So-
actually, it wasn't logic. The rules as they are, I'm still right.
You are right.
He knows it, but he's never going to give up on the part that he's right on because he's right.
It wasn't. It was. Whoa. Alan was here.
I just said you're
And
right.
Grudge was here. I know. But I wanted just a little footnote at the
He
end.
said
of that.
you're right, but you're
am-
not 100% correct.
I understand that. The
So that means
footnote
he wasn't 100% wrong.
at the beginning was never street tire. Crunch, if you were setting up a race,
Yeah, the street tire part would have definitely changed all the negotiations.
right?
You're right. I didn't know.
Okay, and Tom didn't know. I mean, we actually on one thing he looked and it didn't say anything.
Right.
about
We looked
street
at the
tires.
rules. Yeah. It said like, bring your car. We're going to look at it and you can run anything pretty much.
Well, if the Lamborghini guys, the underground racing guys, think they're so badass, I got a pocket full of money and I'm not afraid to put it out there.
Pocket full.
Yep. And
Well, I did say before we came on the air, I said, why doesn't, Anthony's big dog just go to the Virginia race and kill everybody?
bringing that up, Anthony's guy had talked to him and he called me and I was on the other line with somebody else, so I didn't pick up. But Anthony called me like 2 or 3 times in a row because the guy wanted to talk to me.
Right.
And I mean, he's interested. He's like, look, let's do this. We'll kill him. He was
I
ready.
think we should get him to a race anyway. I think it'd be cool.
I think it'd be something good to work on.
Yeah. I think it'd be pretty neat. And I got to tell you,
But apology accepted.
So as
what?
a referee,
I don't know. I just felt like saying.
as a neutral referee right here in this, can we just call it a stalemate?
no.
No,
No.
Oh, you think
well,
Mike's
he's-
going to let go of that one?
he's not conceding. He's not.
I'm like a dog with a bone here.
Yeah, he
Oh,
is.
There's no. Hey, you guys want to race? Oh, prep track? Yeah, but we'd like a bigger tire then. And I bet they'd also like to disconnect their front drive shaft. And because now, whoa.
Disconnect the front
Whoa.
drive shaft.
Oh, I just realized something.
What?
When we were talking about the GTR guys,
Yeah, he said.
wait, whoa. Huh? I think you told me
I did.
to make their best drag passes, they use rear-wheel drive only.
No. I didn't say that. No, what I said was
Running it in two-wheel drive.
no. They'd prefer if they could have a 1733 tire. They would rather not carry the weight of the whole front-wheel drive system.
Oh, okay.
Which makes sense.
Makes sense.
If you must remember, that's exactly what I said.
But I thought when I was looking at how fast the GTR guys went in a quarter, you're like, he might have been in two-wheel drive. Might have been a two-wheel car. There was some discussion about that. I'll have to think back. Now, unfortunately, I can't go back to the broadcast on that. But I know there was
No,
some,
you're right. I remember something like that, but it wasn't one of the GTR guys that I talked to.
Okay.
It wasn't AMS and it wasn't T1.
Okay. Right. So they would like a big tire.
Well, no, I talked to Tony at T1. And he's like, yeah, well, obviously, if we could put a 1733 on a car, and cannot carry
Well, it's going to
the
have
all,
to be
the all
safe.
wheel
It's going to be safe to say.
at Texas where it's prepped.
Okay.
It's got to be safe to say
But-
that.
We'd run. We could certainly go to Texas where it's
I know.
prepped.
Well, yeah, I know. You're jumping on the bandwagon. Of course you would go if it was prepped.
Yeah.
Would you go to Virginia?
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
Unprepped.
Let's go.
Listen, I ain't driving a thing. I'll pay for it. I'll
Yeah,
pay for the wager,
me
but I
neither.
ain't driving a thing. Hell
well,
no.
we're going to say it's safe to say that you guys had a legitimate argument each.
And it looks like Mike was right.
Apologies.
So we'll say
Okay.
that. We'll say that.
I'm sorry you were wrong, Tom. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Crunch, what did you do this week? Anything interesting?
Actually, I've been just cooling out, taking it easy, working hard, and I noticed some things going on with the NHRA letter.
Ooh, more, huh?
So maybe, the responses came back from the racers to NHRA. So now, they're basically saying that the NHRA didn't mean a lot to them with the threat.
So they basically said F you.
Right. So what do you guys think about that?
Wow. NHRA tracks are much more prevalent than any other drag strip.
Yeah.
So if you really don't ever want to go back to a drag strip that's near you, you could tell NHRA to go get bent. I mean, you really could. But I would caution anybody that does this. I think Street Outlaws is going to be gone, and NHRA is going to be around a lot longer
Right.
than any of these TV shows are going to be. If I were them,
Can't they just show up with the nose and the mustache on?
yeah, the big rubber nose, the Las Vegas disguise.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't imagine that anybody should trade their 15 minutes of fame, and give up their NHRA license.
I agree.
I wouldn't think that's a good idea.
Lifetime bans from the NHRA generally don't last more than 5 years anyway. So
We should talk about the rubber nose and Las Vegas disguise.
That would be for the comedy one.
I know. That was funny, though. Harebrained scheme of his.
I don't know that a ban because of racing on the street is going to be treated like a ban from cheating or misconduct at the track. I think they might treat that a little more heavily.
Yeah, the ban for street racing might be a long time.
You know,
to make a statement.
You know what I see?
Hmm.
You guys are going to laugh, but I see lawyers getting involved.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know if NHRA can do that. Can they?
Well, NHRA owns their own licensing system. They have their own rules.
It's their court and their
they
ball.
have street.
Is it?
They have street racing rules in the NHRA that they showed in the first letter.
Really?
Yeah, they were against the street racing aspect of
drag
racing.
They quoted a paragraph
quoted
of
probably the sportsman conduct section.
Sportsman conduct was.
But unfortunately, that's exactly when lawyers step in.
Yep.
Well, if they thought of that, then I will take that back. I mean, if
that was like a push to get the street racers off the street and start racing at the track.
It surprises me they were bright enough to think of that whenever they put that in the rules.
With that being
unless
said,
they did it last week.
if they did get lawyers involved, the Street Outlaw cast, I wouldn't be surprised if the tactic they took was, look, we were portraying street racing, but it really wasn't street racing.
Yeah,
because it was a closed road. It was this, it was that, all the things that we already know.
Right.
And by the way, if anybody watched this past week's one, what is this, Money Days or Cash Days?
I love
days?
Cash Days. I love Cash Days.
Listen, I'm going to tell all of you idiots one more time, and I don't care. Now I don't care if I'm calling them idiots.
Right, that's on the list. You're not supposed to use that.
I don't care. I will take my fine, sir. Are you guys stupid? You're racing on a road that's lined with trees. I watched all the passes. I watched the guys go down their track. I can't. What the hell is wrong with you? Being an outlaw isn't any good if you're dead.
True.
Right.
That is the dumbest place. I mean, I would not. If aren't they in Oklahoma?
Yeah, we talked about that. They're in Oklahoma. There's a road without trees.
There's got to be.
Right.
Without trees, without poles.
They picked this particular road because it had trees and made it more difficult?
Well, no, but if they are in control of how their racing goes, I do not
make a better decision. Is what you're saying.
This Cash Days thing, I don't think is where they usually race. It doesn't look like it to me because I don't remember trees being so close in anything because there was a field off to the side.
Right.
So if they decided we'll move to the place with the trees instead of the field because that'll at least hold the car on the racetrack, bad move.
Right.
I mean, these trees are close.
Well, the other problem is the portable lights that are 50 feet off of the racetrack, the race surface.
Yeah.
All the way down the track.
Are we jabbing at these guys?
We are jabbing at them again because now
I think we're swinging at them.
I'm like, you guys are a very bad influence on the kids as they're watching.
Very. If I was at the NHRA, and even if this was just their portrayal of street racing, that would be a problem. More than anything, the safety aspect. Now, yes, it's nice you see the guys get into cars. They have fire suits. They have helmets. They have all their stuff. Great. And you're driving at whatever speed you're going past trees. And listen, you can watch it on the left-hand side as they're going down, like they're big into the track, lined with trees. And I don't mean like they're off the road a little bit.
Now, Alan's an engineer. So from an engineer's perspective, Alan.
Yeah, well, the physics of going very fast and hitting a tree is pretty
bad. How bad is this, Alan? I need a synopsis.
It's about 11 times terrible.
Yeah, nice.
Woo!
Is
that 11X with a T?
Are we taking jabs?
Or is that to the 11th power?
First one, then the other.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hate to keep hating on these guys because, again, I like the friggin' show. I watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I watch the racing. I watch the screwing around because the screwing around parts, not the demo derby dumb shit they did, but like the actual like joking around.
What exactly was the demo dummy derby?
They had a demo derby.
They had a demo derby because you know what's happening? They're running out of material.
They're running out of stuff to do.
Okay, so
you know how many times are farm truck and Asian going to go out fishing? So then they built the scooter with the gasoline.
The wheelie scooter. Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're trying now. We talked about this a little bit before. They're at the point where they're looking for fill. They're looking for stuff to fill up because, again, the actual act of this racing is the one thing that I will say that they did was very good. And I don't know if you didn't watch it this past week, Crunch.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
They had the $2 window going.
Mhm.
They showed
Yeah, they
all
did.
the
Yep.
side bets. If I didn't know better, they listened to us and said, son of a bitch, we forgot that.
Wow.
Because they were talking about how much money changed hands.
Yeah, because one of the guys on the list actually lost a bunch when Murillo beat their guy.
Yep.
He was throwing $100 bills at everybody behind
I
him.
think it was that guy, Chuck.
It was Mustang guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was him.
I think I'm kind of right with him. I think I like him. I think he's okay. I just don't like the Derek guy to cut sleeves off. Big dork.
Yeah.
So they forced us to have a love-hate relationship with the show.
They do.
Because you're a car guy, you love the cars, but the format is just very disrespectful.
On another note, well, I'd really like to find out how long their supposed track is. Because one thing I thought about the last time I watched, and you guys all know how rarely I watch this show, they only go like 125 mile an hour. And I thought they were running to the eighth. And if they're running $125 to the eighth, those cars are slow, man.
I looked at this and I had sent you a text message.
I know.
I think I was
That's
texting
why I
with
brought it up.
you and I was texting with Crunch. And Alan, you were off in Wisconsin.
Being a cheesehead.
When you could have been researching for the show.
Yeah.
So I hope you're proud of yourself.
There's not a lot of street racing in the middle of February in Wisconsin.
True.
Work that out.
True. I thought that it was shorter, that it did not look like an eighth.
Yeah, but then I said we looked at the picture
Based on polls.
Yeah, based on polls, it looked like it could be. But
I know they've said it's an eighth, not recently, but in the earlier seasons of the show. I know they've said it.
All right, so if they say it's an eighth, and then you watch the 16 different camera views that they show, and the mile an hour and the Formula One noises and tires
I
screeching.
haven't heard that.
And
you have to go back to the earlier one.
Yeah. And the cat screeching.
Who's
and,
hating now, Crunch? Say
Yeah, I
these
see,
guys
I
are?
see.
right.
But anyway,
swinging.
so they go, like I see them 125, 135, and a twin turbo Outlaw 10.5 car in the eighth, they go way faster than 135.
Sure.
Yeah, it should be 205, 210, right?
The real fast ones, yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, 180, 190 is some guy that goes down to Englishtown and runs Outlaw,
Yeah.
Well, just the fact that they have that
50
mile an
miles.
hour clock showing is
Who kno-
very
yeah,
disrespectful.
Yeah, who
to
knows
me.
if it's right. But I
Spinning
mean,
like a Bugs Bunny
Yeah.
speedometer.
Very
but 50
disrespectful.
miles an hour off, I mean, and they look like they're hooking.
That's a very good point. Yeah, they do look like they hook. Like some of the things,
I
like
wonder, man.
like Crunch and I will know exactly, like from a street perspective, when you're standing behind them, you know when the car is good.
Right.
Like on a street pass.
course,
Yeah. But I mean, it's with the street cars is kind of goofy because they can walk a little bit, they can spin but not really spin. It's not. I think it's a little. I always noticed more. Maybe I paid more attention when I was at the street race.
Well, I wonder if it's just BS, the numbers on the on TV for people. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's just
Maybe
it's
they
just
keep
entertainment.
Maybe they keep them low. Who knows? It's just that if it's an eighth mile run and they're hooking like they look like they're hooking, and they're going $135 in the eighth, those cars are slow.
I agree. And all I know is
Well, it
that
doesn't sound like the mile an hour clock is accurate, or where they have it stationed. It's exactly at the finish line.
It must be. Must be something.
Something's going on.
I mean, because Chief's car. I mean, there's no doubt that's a bad ride.
they showed us the dyno numbers, and the dyno numbers don't lie. So if those dynos numbers were correct in these vehicles, they have some very fast equipment.
Which one's they dyno? I saw the truck, and I don't
Yeah, the
remember them
truck.
saying what it made.
I
Well, each time they do a little race or something or a segment, you see them put up the information on the motor.
a lot of
Yeah.
times they do that.
Well,
They'll say how big the motor is, or
yeah, I think, and forgive me because I'm not going to remember it exactly, but they did have the truck on the chassis dyno, and I want to say it was 1430 it made on
Wow.
three
Oh,
kits.
that could be, yeah. And
To the rear wheels?
Well, you're right about the
Holy
3 kits because the
smokes.
only time I saw that was the first time he was able to get the 3 kit to not blow the thing up.
And
Yeah.
then didn't he go to Cash Days and blow it up?
And he went, and blew it up bad.
Yeah.
like sparking bad.
No,
Yeah,
and
like a valve burned off.
Yeah, like more than one valve. It was that sparks.
Who
out of
should he
both
call,
sides.
Tom? I think he should call Manly
He
Performance.
should call Manly for some proper valves. He should.
No, and Lutz's car did 2100, I think, on the chassis dyno.
Holy
Yeah,
smokes.
that's-
These are some astronomical numbers
Yeah, but they're really not.
to be on the street.
I mean, we had a car, my buddy Vinny's car,
Mhm.
I took it up to Pennsylvania to the chassis dyno, and that was at a time when, how long ago was that?
That was a long time ago because that was the first time I was around a real high-powered car and a chassis dyno.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my God.
It was like 10 years ago, probably.
Or you were looking at the straps thinking, just don't
Yeah,
let that
I was
strap-
looking at everything.
Well, I mean,
The first time you do a fast car and a chassis dyno, you're
it
looking
has
to
to
hide
blow your
behind
mind.
something.
well,
Yeah.
anyway, at that time, the chassis dyno would shut off at 200 miles an hour, and the car would get away from me at, go run up right to 200, and it was making like 15 and change, on fairly moderate boost.
Yeah.
Right.
So that car was crazy.
That power out of stuff is ridiculous.
Crazy. It had a 114 millimeter turbo.
I got to tell you,
That's bigger than
That'd
any
suck
class
in
you
small
can
cats.
get in, right?
you don't realize, like, whenever you go to a new experience, you take things away from it. Things that stick in your mind.
Right.
And the thing that stuck in my mind, because look, I'm an engine dyno guy. Everything we ever tested was on a dyno in a room behind a window. You watch it, you control it, you do the things you need to do. When that thing was on a chassis dyno, it was amazing the things that you could hear in the car that obviously we all know go on when you're driving down the road, but you hear things that you don't hear because it's not masked by you driving down the road.
Right. It's right there.
Right.
You hear the drive line, you hear the tires. It's so strange the first time you're there. And the first time that they made a real pass, I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I had to back up because that was pretty serious.
Right. It's just too much going on.
And like Tom said, instantaneous. Probably because of whatever chassis dyno that was, probably really wasn't up to the power level.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure things have advanced.
They are.
Wow.
They have.
I'm glad he didn't hit the brake afterwards.
Yeah, right.
Because you've seen the dynos on YouTube
Yep.
where the person accidentally hits the brake afterwards.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
I've seen all-wheel
turns
drive
bad.
cars come popping off
Yeah.
because they hop. I've seen all kinds of craziness.
That's bad.
Well, look, I hope nobody in Street Outlaws gets killed, but I
Agreed.
I can't help but think that this is where it's going, man. I mean, it's dangerous. Now, look, if it turns out they were running 330 and through creative photography, wide angle lenses and stuff to put more in focus.
That's kind of what you said.
Yeah, but the telephone pole thing made sense.
Yeah, but I rethought that too. Telephone poles aren't necessarily. I mean, around here it's 100-foot deal usually, but I don't know. I don't know what they are there. I don't know what kind of poles they were. They could have been high tension that needed to be 50. I don't know. I was just surmising that they were 100-foot like here. Standard issue telephone cable, whatever. I don't know what they were.
And because I have no clue, I don't know what something should go in a 330 mile an hour watch.
Me
I have no
either.
clue.
When I used to race on foot at the hole, and we used to use pole to pole. Remember that, Mike?
Yep.
How fast
So-
did you go on foot?
I have no idea, but the best race I ever had, I raced a BMW, and he gave me the break, and I beat him because he missed second.
Yep.
That was for $1,000.
I think I was there that night.
Yeah, that was my best race on foot. $1,000,
You raced a BMW on foot for $1,000.
and he gave me the break. And when I broke out of there, I was waiting to hear him shift to see if he was going to be close because I wasn't going to give up. And I heard him when he missed the shift. I just started coasting, running, and I beat him.
Alan
Pole to
is
pole.
looking in amazement, like he's got his thumb over, like what?
What ticket would
Yeah,
the cop
yeah.
give you for that?
I don't know. Well,
It's
we
like
used to do a whole bunch of stuff like that at the hole.
You should have been a big tailback instead of a street racer.
Yeah, I know. I have asthma bad, so the asthma used to scare me. I was afraid to go do the sports because I didn't know how to control the asthma like I do now.
We could be part of your posse instead. Flying around in your private jet and shit.
I mean, I've done all kinds. I lifted weights. I got this big, the frame, because a friend challenged me on lifting weights. So my first time on the bench, I could only do like 315. So I went and started lifting behind his back, behind everybody's back. And then about 8 months later, I was up to like 415, 430, and I won money betting on the bench, just gambling. So we have a gambling problem too as car guys, basically.
True.
Wow.
Yeah.
The first time you picked up a straight bar, you benched 315?
I mean, I had help. The 315 was hard.
Yeah.
At the time, I was weighing
we just talked about this.
I was weighing like 210.
before you got here.
I was weighing like 210. I did 315 one time with help.
Yeah.
And so my friends saw that. So they're like, okay, we got him. So I started lifting behind their backs, doing the research, finding out what it takes to get your bench up. So when I was up to 405, nobody knew.
Right.
So I started betting guys that I'll do 315 twice.
Mm-hmm.
and they started betting me heavy. I won a lot of money on that.
And at 315, you probably could have done a set of 10 if you were doing 4 or 5.
I was doing like 15. 15.
We just had the conversation with Tom. I mean, this is far off the subject of any kind of street race cast, but I can't flat bench. My technique is no good, but my dumbbells are good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I read an article about your wrists. So once you get your wrist strong enough to hold whatever weight you're using, that improves your bench greatly.
Did you wrap your thumbs around, or did you have your thumbs to the side of the bar?
Never had I never had the thumbs touching. It's always in the palm of the hand.
Me neither.
Yeah.
You wrap your thumbs?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
So
Kind of cradle.
I haven't tried that in a long time though. But I did that just for a wager.
We're getting too old for all that dumb shit.
Yeah. I'm 43 now. That was back when I was 24.
Do something like that, your shoulder rips in half.
Yeah, 24, no injuries. Injuries heal overnight, stuff like that. Now,
got to use the machines.
yeah, I think I got a little hangnail in my finger. It took like 2 months for that to heal.
Yep.
Not
All right,
good.
so we can all decide that Street Outlaws is not exactly the best role model.
No.
For what's going on. And, again, I'm sorry. I hate calling these guys idiots, but I got to question your own personal
the word
judgment.
idiot is on the list of not.
I don't
to
care.
use.
Look, if you're putting yourself in harm's way for a TV show that ain't going to be around all that long,
Right.
the only one who's got a chance of going anywhere, in my eyes, in any kind of reality show or commentation stuff is probably the chief guy. All the other guys, I mean, look, this is
Chief
their
guy. He's pretty.
He's
He's
smooth,
pretty talented.
tell a story, he's
Yeah.
good. The other guys, they're the kind of the supporting characters. Look, nobody's going to pick them up for a reissue of Lost.
I
You know
saw.
what I mean?
I saw
It's-
an advertisement, something about the chief guy's car showing up at a track this weekend or next weekend coming up.
Yeah, so I mean, like
So
appearance
something's
money.
going on.
Yeah,
Something's
appearance
going
money could be good. So guys, look, you're not being safe. Somebody's going to get hurt, but by all means, milk it for everything you can while it's there because it's going to disappear before you know it.
Because
It
we're
ain't
in a
gonna be.
capitalistic society, man.
Yeah, and Alan would
It's
hate
all
you.
about the money. It's all about the money.
Alan would hate
Yeah,
you.
just go grudge racing at a track.
Alan-
we all feel better about that.
He's so on the fence about this whole thing because he loves the street racing, but they're making money, so he's giving me the finger right now.
He's wondering, how does that play into our tax basis? What kind of percentage?
Yeah. How much do they put into the healthcare system?
Poor Alan.
Sorry, Alan.
All right. Now, I told you, Crunch, I forgot to remind you. I made Tom sit here and watch it the other day because we were waiting for you because I got to apologize, dude. Tom and I were in here and we were watching Top Gear because he had never seen it. The UK one, not the US one.
Right.
Sorry. And I know that, Alan, you had some interaction with, what's his name, Rutledge or Rutledge guy?
Yeah, Rutledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what? That guy mentioned my dad's car, his old car, when it went on auction. And I tweeted him. I said,
And
thanks.
what car was that?
That was the 70 Chevelle that Ray Allen drove. It was,
okay.
Hey, did it go again?
It went again, but I don't think it. They were looking. Apparently, there was a reserve for 500.
Do you remember
Because-
the night that it went first time we were texting back and forth?
Ridiculous. 1.2
1.something million.
million.
Yeah, 1.2.
Yeah, my mother and my father called me about that. They were watching that.
Yeah, what'd they say? Isn't that white boy
No,
from
no,
Newark?
no. They were telling me about this car,
Yeah.
and I had to tell them, well, do you remember the gentleman I told you about, and I went to his father's funeral? And they said, yeah, we remember that. I said, well, that's the car.
Yep.
And they couldn't believe it. My parents were telling me something they thought I didn't know,
Yep.
and come to find out I knew you. So that
More.
was
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah, that's.
we were watching the auction and texting back and forth or calling or whatever we were doing. And like it was 500, then it was 600, then it was whatever. And we're like, holy God, this is crazy, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was
Now, I guess
insane.
somehow or another, Ray Allen bought the car, restored it. I think Reggie Jackson might have bought it from Allen. There was all kinds of.
Well, he's the one that bought it that day, that night.
No, there was.
I thought he did.
I don't believe so. This is all no, because the guy that ended up with it, it was in some collection someplace, and they. I think that's the guy that like got out of it or lost money. Then it sold for $250,000. It like depreciated like $1 million.
Oh, so he got hosed.
Oh, big time on a lot of stuff, not just that car.
See, I was hoping it was Reggie Jackson because I'm not a big fan.
Well, we were looking. Brian and I were talking about it. Should we go down there and try to buy it?
Right.
When the auction was happening, because we figured maybe it would sell for the previous amount, and maybe we could have between the two of us we could have done that. But when we heard that the reserve was like 500, like no,
Yeah.
Wow.
not that deep. That's tough. And then I'm sure probably on top of that price, there's probably a
Yeah.
buyer's fee.
Yeah, 15% or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah, so that's out of control.
Well,
But
it already obtained the records for a certain amount of vehicles and this and that
yeah,
category. So
listen,
you're already in history with that with your last name.
yeah, but it has nothing to do with me. I remember my
Right,
mom
right.
actually just emailed me a picture of me sitting, because that car, the Briggs Chevrolet Chevelle, came to the shop with, I think they were also leased or rented or whatever or sponsored, like a ramp truck that like you would drive the thing up like on a 45-degree angle, like before they had like flatbeds.
Okay.
And I think there's a picture of me sitting on the ramp truck when I was like, I don't know, probably like 3, 2, something like that, little kid.
Okay. Okay.
There were pictures from Indy. She sent me all kinds of crazy pictures the other day.
Right.
She was cleaning out the house. She found all kinds of stuff. But
That's pretty
but
cool.
anyway, enough of that. Where I was going with this is Tom and I were sitting here and we were watching Top Gear in the U.S. because he never saw it. Oh, I remember, because I wanted to get the Rutledge. They completely derailed. Anybody that hears this that has watched the U.S. Top Gear and says, well, I'm not watching the British one. The U.S. one sucked. Watch the British one, because
yeah?
the British one is good. The
Yeah, it's
U.S.
good.
one, they tried to recreate what they have going on there. Didn't work.
Terrible.
Hollywood did it again.
Ugh, just
Terrible.
not
Just
funny.
terrible.
And look, you might watch the British Top Gear and hate it. I know
Right.
Alan loves it.
hmm
I mean, you've watched probably every one like I have, haven't
Oh
you?
yeah, without a doubt, over and over and over.
Yep.
Wow.
I
Okay.
watched the one with Mike, and it's pretty cool. He's actually giving me copies of all of them now.
Yeah, I've
All right.
got most of them. And
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
look into it.
I'm gonna do the same for you. I'm gonna give you all the crap and one of the players so you can just
Okay. Well,
sit home
this
and watch it.
podcast opens my eyes to a lot of things. So we've had discussions about many things here: half mile racing, Top Gear, British version, U.S. version. So
Well, the
I'm
thing
gonna
that's
check
so
it out.
cool about Top Gear is they test cars. I mean, like I think Tom watched it. He said, that's just the coolest friggin' job in the world.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, they've got it made. They get to drive everything. Everything.
Okay.
Now, they test everything from old-time cars to economy cars, like screwing around, and they test a lot of exotics.
Subarus.
Really?
All-wheel drive.
The Subaru
Is that a
thing.
stab
The
at Mike?
Subaru thing was funny.
Was that a stab at Mike just now?
No. He made a stab at me.
All right.
I'm just giving him. I just gave him the
Okay.
feed.
So Alan and I are unaware of what's going on over here.
I will tell.
Indirect.
Do you know the special that it was, Alan? Was it the Africa special?
Yes, yes.
The Africa special. They get these 3 guys, Jeremy Clarkson, Tom Hammond, Richard Hammond, and James May. They all get challenges, like something that they have to do. They had to drive across Africa. And I mean, I'm paraphrasing because I don't know exactly where they had to go to and from. Alan, jump in if you knew exactly where they had to get to. I don't really remember.
I don't remember those details either.
So they pick cars. They pick the car that they think they should buy for the task. So Jeremy had, I believe it was a BMW station wagon,
Yeah, like a 5 Series wagon.
5 Series wagon,
Okay.
mechanical injected because he didn't want to have problems with it.
Right.
James May shows up with a Volvo station wagon with those little tiny itty bitty low profile
Yeah.
tires. I mean,
Oh wow.
Yeah, like the somewhat fast V70, I guess it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're kind of our James May, Alan.
That's the S.
You're smart, but you're a
the
little
S
bit
version.
goofy. You might be, and you're probably a little slow. I had to think about that. All right.
Is
So
that a jab?
no, it's not a jab. James May is an integral part of the show.
Okay.
Captain Slow. Okay.
It was a jab.
So now they're waiting. Jeremy Clarkson's there. He got there first. He explained why he bought the car he bought. And then the guy goes, and off in the distance, I hear a turbocharged flat 4, worldwide signaling the arrival of a moron.
And then somebody pulls up in a blue,
And then it's
blue
Hammond's.
Subaru, yeah,
Yep, in a blue Subaru.
with a toilet seat as the hood scoop.
Yep.
That came later. Somebody
no.
borrowed the scoop.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. All-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's an STI. It wasn't a wagon.
No,
it wasn't like
it
yours.
was- yeah, well, no, it was a wagon, a car wagon, WRX wagon,
And what's your thing?
Forester.
Forester?
Yeah. Impreza
Shut
is the
up,
small
man.
car.
They make a Forester STI in
Okay.
Japan.
Okay. I wasn't.
You said the Preza is the smallest one.
Yeah, the Impreza is what the WRX
The
is
Preza
based
was
on.
on my racing game, and it was the fastest car on my racing game.
There you go.
They are neat cars. All of them are neat cars. The whole
Pretty
platform's neat. But the reason I bring up Top Gear is because one thing that it did for me is it exposed me to a lot of cars that I probably wouldn't have ever thought about. I mean, cars that most people haven't even heard of. I mean, Alan, you watch it. It's tough to talk to Tom and Crunch about this. They don't. There's probably been 5 or 6 cars, maybe even more, that I've never heard of that are very serious.
The Paganis in particular. Those things are obscene.
Yeah.
And then the McLaren. Before we had heard of it here, they're testing it there.
Yeah. You ever hear of a Pagani?
No, never heard of that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of neat cars on here.
How about
So
how about the Koenigsegg?
What was the terrain?
We actually make parts for the Koenigsegg,
Oh, cool.
the rods and pistons.
Oh, what was the terrain that they had to go through?
In Africa?
Right, I'm
Oh,
saying, is
yeah, that was
regular roads, dirt roads.
All sorts of fucked up stuff. They got stuck, and listen, I'm going to give you all the stuff, and you're gonna have some time
Okay,
to watch it.
They had
I wanna
to, they had
check
to
it
cross a river on a raft that they had to tow themselves across.
They made
with
a
rope.
raft to get across. They're
It's a comedy show.
It's a comedy,
but,
and
but
car
these
show.
guys really, they really do know how to test cars. Like that new
Yes.
Lambo.
Yep.
They give a really astute test of that thing, even saying that it's too good.
Too good.
It's like not driving a Lambo anymore because they take all the feel away and blah. It was impressive to me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But the reason
I'm a car guy, so I'm going to like it.
you're
right?
gonna like this.
Yep, gotcha.
And anybody that listens, don't just automatically say, "Oh, that has to be the same as the U.S." because it's not.
No.
All right. But the main reason for bringing this up is one of the things we talked about is what kind of car would we like to own? What would be your ideal car?
Oh,
Now,
your dream car.
your dream car.
Dream car.
I would have said before watching Top Gear as rigorously as I did that I think I knew what my car would be, but I think Top Gear opened my horizon a little bit. So we can talk about it now.
Well, wait a minute. Let's put some rules to this.
Okay.
No, I mean, are there going to be rules? Like, can you say I would like to have a school bus with a 2JZ with twin turbos?
Well, why would anybody want that?
But can you choose a platform and an engine and a trans?
No, we're
No,
not
no.
building a
So-
car.
All right, so it's a car.
We're buying a car.
We're buying a car.
So
okay. Okay, Alan, go.
I was thinking about it since you brought it up, and there's so many I like. I really have trouble picking one.
All right,
but
you could buy 2 then because you're half a nut job.
He's an
No,
engineer.
Mike doesn't like the Ferrari I like. I like the California because I just think it's pretty.
But why would you spend the money for a car like that? That's like kind of a
But
people look at it and they're like,
wait, it's
eh,
his dream car.
I know. I'm not trying to.
Is that on the list?
What? That I can't pick on him?
You can't pick on
Now it's actions that are on the list?
That can
Alan,
never
you
be
said
on the
it.
list.
What kind of car did you say, Alan?
I really like the Ferrari California. I
They
just
are
think
pretty.
it's just a pretty car. And
Oh.
all of those hyper cars that they test, just put them
So-
up on the wall and I'll throw a dart.
So what
all of
year
them.
would that be?
I believe it's a current model.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Brand new.
You know,
What
all-
are they? Like around 200-ish?
Yeah, they're about 200.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike,
Yeah.
you want to go next?
Mine changed.
Tell us what it was.
It was absolutely, and Alan can attest to this, that in the building down there are 2 pictures of McLarens on the wall. The MP4-12C, because I'm smart enough to realize that the next version of McLaren I couldn't even think about affording. Like there would be no possible way ever. The McLaren's kind of in reach.
What are they, like 300 and then $1.2 million?
No, the McLaren that I would buy, like an MP4, when I was looking at them, were 220.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
But then that crazy level is like $1 million.
oh yeah,
$1.2 million.
yeah. When you go to the next level, I think
Yeah.
they started at like 750 or something. It was pretty high.
Trey Cobb just bought one of them.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's more than the Bugatti.
Now, what is a new one? It's a P something, right?
I know there's a new one. I don't know the name of it.
Yeah.
Isn't that the hybrid one? Or sort of hybrid? It can go like 8 feet on electric.
Maybe. But I would have said the McLaren, and I got to tell you, I've changed completely what I'd want. A complete different type of generation in car. I want a Bentley Continental V8S.
Oh, man.
Oh,
you did not
wow.
just do that.
Yep, that's what I want.
Are you kidding me?
I want a Bentley Continental, a yellow Bentley Continental V8S.
That's so ridiculous.
Just
that
like-
you said that car, because that's what I was going to say in white. I swear, and we haven't talked about this.
No, we haven't talked about
I
this.
swear.
I said that, Alan. Didn't I say
Yeah, no,
we're not going to discuss it?
Not discussing it
And
was the
then
key here. This
it would
is
be
funny.
very interesting to
That's
see.
actually insane.
Sorry I scammed you.
So was that the car you were going to say?
Well, it was, and I even have pictures of one.
Show me when you get a chance. I
I'm
want
going
to see
to.
it.
Well, the thing, Top Gear introduced me to that car. I mean, I always knew Bentley was around. I always knew they had Continentals, but they drove that car. One of the people, Richard Hammond, drove that car in Australia. They were at, yeah, it was just because they were doing cattle herding in Australia
With cars.
with cars. and it was a Bentley
That's why-
V8S in yellow.
That's
and
why this show is so cool.
Wow.
And I mean, I would have never said I want a Bentley
And what color would you want?
yellow because it was yellow on the show. And it was pretty badass.
And you have 2 yellow Corvettes outside, right?
Yeah,
Okay, just
got
checking.
a little bit of a problem.
Just checking. That's interesting though. So, Tom, are you going to go?
You know
now,
what? You're going to
or-
have to go because I'm between two now.
I hosed you.
Well, actually,
You
I'm
did.
going to say, I was going to say a historically horsepower mannish car from the 60s.
As long as it was a real car that you,
Right.
that's
But
fine.
my dream car is actually a 2016 SL 550
Yeah.
Mercedes Benz. And the reason I say that is because the what's the performance version of it?
AMG.
AMG version of it, I just don't like that kind of performance for the luxury car because I'm a car guy and I'm a horsepower man. I'd like to put my own motor in it if I had to. So I wouldn't buy the AMG version. Just give me the regular version that I can drive on the street and it's still my dream car. So
Well-
right now at $110,000, that car is the dream car for me for 2016 and I'm shooting for it.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty good choice, actually. You know, we
Yeah,
were
I'm shooting
talking
for
about the half-mile race. We were looking at the stats the other day. They finally released the stats from the half-mile race in Florida. And there was one S63 bone stock car that went like 147 and a half,
Mm.
which when you looked at it against everything else is pretty damn impressive for a 5,000 pound, sedan.
Right.
You know,
right.
that you probably can't even hear the wind going by.
Yeah. Now, Alan, knowing that Crunch is a Mercedes guy, or he likes Mercedes, he'd really like Jeremy
Yeah.
because Jeremy's very much a Mercedes guy. They call them in England, they call them Mercs.
Mercs.
That's what they call them, Mercs. Now, see, every time I hear Merc, I think of Mercury.
Yeah, like a 50 Merc
Really?
with a spark plug and a
but-
tailpipe.
Yeah.
Right?
With a chopped hood. I mean,
Yeah.
chopped top.
They
Yeah,
they
exactly.
test all of those things. They
Wow.
test, AMGs. They test, all the different classes. And I mean, what bothers me about the Mercedes and the BMWs to a point? There's like BMW, I think is worse because they've got the series number in the front, and then there's different back numbers and
Yeah.
letters and everything. I
Yep.
can't figure it out. And I looked at Mercedes for a while. I was even thinking about buying one, and
Well, I'll teach you a little something real quick.
Mhm.
When you see a BMW 750,
Yeah.
that's a 5.0. The last 2 numbers is the engine size.
really
750 means 7 series. 5.0 is the leader. Mercedes is the total opposite.
okay.
The first 2 numbers. When you see the 600, that's 6.0. You see the 500, that's 5.0.
Really?
Got it?
And the letters classify the
The letters classify the body style.
Yeah.
So you're telling me a BMW?
750 or 650 is a 5.0.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. When you see 640 or 740, that's a 4.0.
So when I see these different 3 Series type cars, it's different motor sizes.
Right. Depending on, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
25, 28, 30.
Yeah,
that's
that's what it is.
That's the last 2 bits.
Well, I got to tell you, I rented one. Wasn't a fan.
What did you rent?
I owned one.
A 3 something. It was a shit box. I mean,
was it an M3?
No.
Because that's what you needed.
No, they ain't giving you that shit as a
Well,
guy going
well,
around.
that's what you needed. Then you'd have had a different conversation.
I did drive an M5
Oh,
before I bought my car. Interesting. Not a
what-
big fan.
it wasn't quick enough for you?
I much I hate to say this, I'm going to take what Top Gear said, that it was kind of not
Too good.
too, maybe not crazy.
Right. It was
Wasn't-
still a luxury car, though.
Yeah, it's still a luxury car.
Right. But with the performance aspect to it.
I was looking at that. I was looking at CTSVs.
Right.
Um,
And you ended up with a
what
yellow
a piece
Corvette.
of shit yellow Corvette. a
beautiful
problem.
Corvette,
A
I might
problem.
add.
A problem.
CTSV would have been a good choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really do like those.
No, you know what? Know what stopped that one? 14 miles to the gallon. That's
Oh,
what stopped
Is
that
that the
one.
Cadillac?
Boy.
Yeah,
Well, they have the station wagon too. That's beautiful.
that's him.
Yeah, no,
He likes them.
I have a
Yeah.
weird station wagon thing going. Yeah, I
the
I
station
really
wagon
like that one.
Cadillac is powerful. It's beautiful. It's different, and it's a Cadillac.
They are beautiful. I still to this day like them. But I mean, if I was going to buy something to drive around,
Right.
like was going to be what I drive, I wouldn't want to get 14.
Let's go back.
Mine didn't get 14. I had a CTSV.
Yeah, but you had a Corvette motor, normally aspirated power one. The ones I was looking at were the supercharged ones, and they're awful.
Oh, that must have been.
Well,
the
there's still
V12.
that could be. There's still the Corvette motor.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, but I
bigger-
mean,
way more power now.
Yeah, I mean, I meant to say like
I didn't realize they were that bad.
yeah, terrible, terrible. I looked at I think it was estimated like combined, I think it was like 17, 16.
Yeah.
Well, geez, something my truck can beat.
Yeah, it was terrible. And I was like, why should, and it makes no sense to me because you look at like my 427 Corvette gets decent mileage. It ain't bad.
Yeah, my naturally aspirated CTSV got like 28 on the highway.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
that thing.
How much horsepower was in it?
Yeah, I don't remember now.
That's the thing you raced me with, right?
Yeah.
That was newer than my car.
Yeah.
That had the bigger LS.
Who won? Who won the race?
Did you?
Holy smokes!
I did.
I don't remember.
I see why this.
I mean, it was
rivalry is
it was close.
Yeah.
Actually, we did it right out by Wawa, and we probably went way faster than we should have went.
Yeah,
on
probably
202
way
there.
faster.
Yeah,
You guys
It
were
could-
street racing?
yeah,
Yeah, there was trees, there was
It-
light
it-
poles.
It
Light
could have been.
poles.
It could have been either one of us.
Oh,
It was that close.
Yeah.
against the Corvette. He was close.
Well, the CTSV is a fast car. I mean, mine went 1298.
Mm.
You know, just with a tuner.
His was a newer car than my car. So I think it had the next size up LS motor.
It did.
What did you have? What motor was in that?
The 5.7. I'm sorry, 6.0. The LS2.
All right. Mine was an LS1.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was his old Corvette.
Oh, your older Corvette.
Oh, yeah,
Not
the-
the.
yeah,
I
one-
thought you were talking about the brand new one in
No,
the garage.
no.
no,
The
that
pretty yellow one you have.
no, that would kill it.
Oh, okay.
That wouldn't even be close.
Just wanted to specify that because I know there's like an ongoing rivalry between the two of you.
No, it wasn't that.
only if we were racing in a half mile or taking a nice couple on a wedding. So we won't talk about that.
Okay, now let's spin this a little. I just thought of this. Give me an old car.
I didn't pick my car yet.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah,
pick
well, I
his car
thought
yet.
you. Oh, okay, well, go ahead. Because I thought you were going to pick
No.
the same car.
No,
I have another car. If you want the Continental, I'll give it to you. But
No.
this one is extreme fantasy.
You
car.
already picked it, so he needs to give us something.
actually, mine's a step way down now, but still an awesome car. And even you admitted it. I would go to GTR then,
Yeah.
just for the price to value for performance.
And what is that? 90?
Yeah,
grand?
yeah, about 90. I mean, the black edition might be a little over 100 now, but they are. I mean,
No, they are exceptional performance cars.
ridiculous performance car.
Yeah, I had to tow one time, and the stall speed from the factory was the highest I've ever seen in any car. It was idling at 900 to 1,000, and it wouldn't move till it got to like 1,1500 on my gas pedal.
Really?
To put it on the trailer, you would think I was in there trying to stall the launch for a race.
You know, and I don't even know how they work because they're clutches too, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah, they're a DSG.
Yeah, yep. It's a clutch based transmission.
Oh, it's not really an automatic.
No.
Really?
No. It's
So, Crunch, what you were driving, it's not.
It was an
Torque
automatic,
converter.
but what I'm saying,
Yeah, it's
I
not-
don't know
it's not
what's
a torque
going on,
converter.
but I know that
is that centrifugal?
I was sitting there
No,
thinking
it's-
to myself,
I don't know.
It's
This-
mechanical and electronically controlled.
Oh,
There's a
so-
clutch, but
So the
computer's
computer.
Wow.
Okay.
now that's technology.
I'm sorry, but there's no computer that's going to really get that right. As
not-
good as it could be.
I test drove a Jetta that had a DSG. I thought it was fine, but I knew it was a DSG. It was a little chunky.
Could you
Why- Wife couldn't.
expand on DSGs?
Oh, I'm sorry. A dual shaft gearbox. It's basically.
Oh, here we
The
go.
engineer, let him talk.
God.
Engineer, let's hear it, Alan. Let's go.
This is like Sheldon from Big Bang. Oh, really? Why? Oh, no.
Oh,
My God.
you walked right into it. No, there's dual clutches, so it can disengage one and engage the other, so it gives the appearance of a seamless shift.
Okay. So it actually could be in two gears, but only one is coupled to power.
Correct.
Understood.
Wow. See, that's why we need Alan, the engineer,
Mhm.
to keep us on.
Oh,
on the
Tom
right
could
path.
answer that one.
And to give us fancy acronyms like
No.
DSG.
You do it better though.
It wouldn't be as powerful as when you do it, Alan.
Now, I know that the Top Gear guys many times have said that they're awful in traffic. Like the Lambos are awful in traffic.
Well, they're also describing like the Lambos were paddle shifted before they went DSG.
Right.
When they went to DSG, they got much more drivable.
Got better.
Yeah, they were imitating
Interesting.
a true DSG before they had a dual shaft gearbox.
So single clutch in those cars.
Well, actually, what they did was they just bought all that technology from Audi, the engine and everything. It's just an Audi and a Lambo.
Well, yeah, Audi owns them.
Wow. Okay, now, fellas,
yeah, that little Audi car. What is it?
The R8.
R8.
Yeah.
Same engine, same driveline.
and that's a pretty
Yeah, but I
car.
think the
That's a
ten-
Gallardo.
but I think the
Mhm. It is.
10-cylinder engine was a Lamborghini thing before Audi was involved.
Oh
weren't
yeah,
they?
yeah.
Yeah.
But this is just an Audi 10-cylinder engine.
Well, it's really a Lamborghini 10-cylinder engine.
No.
It-
No, they
No.
It was
That's an
always an Audi engine?
Well, the new stuff, yeah.
Yeah, when they were bought, there was probably one more year of the Lambo developed motor,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was the Audi motor.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
We're learning here today.
We are learning.
All right. That's interesting. Now,
Yeah, what was your plan going to be?
my question was going to be, give me a dream car of yours with at least 20 plus years. Classic car.
Okay.
Each. Alan?
Hemi Cuda 4-speed,
Really, right to the Chrysler.
right to the Chrysler.
What year? What year?
70,
Wow. Mike?
and probably like limelight or fuchsia or something.
Crunch knows what I want.
Go ahead. I want to hear.
Crunch knows exactly what I want, and it's not exciting.
No, it's not.
It's not exciting. I want a '78 Malibu.
Right.
I want.
Still trying to get your car back.
Yep. I want the same car I had in high school, but I want the big tire on it. I want it done right. I want it to be ridiculously fast, and I want to drive it.
What kind of power plant?
I'd like to have a big LS, like either single or twin turbocharged big LS.
Good call.
Wow.
I'd actually like a stick.
The 6-speed, the new 6-speed or 7-speed?
I don't know what you could get because the Corvette stuff, the 7-speeds, they're really a transaxle sort of. I haven't seen the new ones. I don't know how it works, but like my car is really a transmission stuck on the end of a rear.
Right.
It's not really a transaxle.
Okay.
If GM went into complete transaxle with that, then that's out. But if there was a way to get that 7-speed behavior in a regular transmission, that's what I'd like to have in the car.
Yeah, I think 6 is all you can do with that.
Wow.
The
And you would
Tremec.
do that with a 78 Malibu
Yep.
and drive it on the street.
Back half it, biggest street tire I could put under a thing. I want to be able to put a quarter between the back tires. You know what I mean? I want that's
Then you take it right to the half-mile race.
yep, right to the half mile race. And so
That's a stab.
I go right to BF Goodrich and say, make me a big, big, big drag radio.
So you want the Pro Street look with
Yeah.
the 2015 style.
But I want it to be fast.
And fast.
Yeah.
So the horsepower numbers would be up there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd probably do tube front ends. It wouldn't be like, regular conventional, Chevrolet GM control arms in the front. It would be, tube, it would be rack. But I mean, a nice rack, not rack like mechanical rack like you're in there fighting a thing to drive it. I mean, it's going to be a very nice car, but
Right.
very fast.
A very, very much custom job.
Yep.
Okay. Tom?
No, you're up. Unless you want to think for another minute.
I have a 68 Camaro right now,
Me too.
but my car isn't pristine. It's not, a classic car that would go on Barrett Jackson and get kind of money that these guys get. But I would love a 55 Chevy.
That's a good call.
Mhm.
55 Chevy, and I want a small block, preferably a 421 with a B&M blower. I don't even know if B&M makes blowers anymore.
No, but you can get one.
Right. The B&M blower with 2 Dominators and drive that thing around with no hood.
Not
All right.
with a cog belt setup, right?
With a cog bed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because-
you know what I'm
so
going
they
with
hear
that.
you, they see you.
Yeah, I want that.
It's
I
business.
wanted to whine.
Yeah.
I want to make 1,500 horsepower or 1,400, whatever I can make. and
Usually
just-
what happens with those things is they don't run worth a
No,
dick.
no.
But
Yeah.
the cool factor is seeing them.
Big heat pump.
Yeah.
Right.
They turn
Well, what
into-
about with today's technology? I couldn't make the two Dominators, drivable.
Not with a B&M blower.
Yeah,
No?
not with a big regular blower. Probably not.
Well, you could if you put 3 foot of intercooler between the two, and then it would stick up above,
Well,
above the
then-
roof line.
Yeah,
Well,
having
by
the carbs
today's-
over the roof might be
By
fun.
today's standards, if I had a Pro Charger
Yeah, oh yeah,
on a
you,
55,
yeah, you could do it. Run through a big intercooler. There's plenty of room.
yeah,
on
then
those
I can
things.
have the
Yeah.
drivability of the
Yep.
fuel injection.
fuel
and all
injected.
that.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay. Well, I just like that look.
That's a
Those
good call.
cars with the big blower, and the belt look like it's so big it might
But you
hurt
see,
you if it
you
snaps.
want something nice, but not so nice. You too, Alan, right? You want something nice, but not so nice that it's a Barrett Jackson car.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want a museum piece.
Yeah, I
I'm
wanna
going to
drive
take the
the
Hemi
fucking
Cuda
thing.
and do
But
donuts.
some of those cars are just very clean. They can be
Yeah.
driven.
Yeah.
But who would spend that money and then?
Well, you
out
really
and
can't.
drive?
No matter how nice Alan's car is, you really can't drive that thing
Why?
because they're all worth $1 million.
Well, yeah, okay. All right, you're out, Alan.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go
I'll
home.
take a replica.
Get in the closet. That'd be the way to do it.
Yeah.
You just
Wow.
do a knockoff. But,
What's the horsepower rating for that car at that time?
425, I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was.
Okay. All right.
Well, my car. I actually own the car that I would buy. I have a '68 convertible Camaro, mini tubs,
Oh, here you go. You got to pull the pictures up. Your phone is right there.
You
Let's
know,
go.
I don't even think I have a picture of it on my phone. It's not. I've been working on it for 7 years.
Yeah. What's the power plant?
It's a fuel injected SB2, a 420-inch SB2.
Smoke.
7 years? Longer than that, isn't it?
Could be. It could be. It's
The
been a long time.
SB2 motor.
Yeah.
Dude, it's 2015.
Yep. When did we do the motor? Was that your shop?
Yeah.
Mike, you did the motor?
Yeah.
You dynoed the motor back when?
Yeah, we dynoed it,
We
right?
we dined at
Yeah.
the old shop.
I-
Well, when did you close the old shop?
Wow. I'm talking
I'm
about
gonna say-
dream cars, and he has it in his garage already.
I'm going to say 8.
8.
So it's probably been more than 7.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
It could be. Well, I mean, it was in Florida for 5.
Yeah.
And that's very different, too.
Doing
The SB2
nothing.
hit. That's a very unique.
Yeah, I had
Well,
to figure that one out.
And that's what I did it. That's why I did it, because I've never seen one on the street.
Wow.
It's fuel injected. It's got NASCAR headers on it. It's a convertible, white black top. It's a nice car.
Okay.
18-inch wheels, 335 tires underneath.
Wow.
Air conditioning.
Make sure you send me a picture of that.
I will.
That'll be my
I'm
inspiration.
going to have to take a picture in my garage.
Right. It's okay. But now the inspiration is for you to finish it. Let's ride, because I want to ride.
Oddly
With a car
enough,
like that.
there's a guy in Philadelphia. Dave Acker.
Dave Acker.
I'm taking it to his new shop. I think next week, right before I go to Florida, and he's going to finish it.
Okay.
I sent it to Florida years ago. A custom guy of mine, a buddy of mine, was going to finish the interior and do the wiring. 2 things I didn't want to do.
Correct.
I just don't like doing that stuff.
Right.
And he did the interior and then went bankrupt. And the car sat and sat and sat. I actually had to have one of my friends in Florida go kind of steal the car and put it in his garage, and I just brought it home
Right, to keep it safe.
last April.
Okay.
Man, that motor's been done a long time just sitting.
I know.
I hope that thing's okay.
I was going to ask you about that. Well, it's been sealed up, and it was in Florida.
Was it fogged or was it just sealed?
I think I fogged it
Okay.
and then taped everything up.
But
Wow.
the valve springs haven't been backed off the rockers, right?
That doesn't really matter.
I was going to say the valve spring guy's here, but my recommendation would be like, is you're nuts. It doesn't hurt them.
No?
No,
No, doesn't.
That long?
Nope.
no.
There's no stress on them. Like there's no active stress on them.
Maybe with
Okay.
old material, you turn the motor over and the valve
That's
spring never
amazing.
moves again,
That's
but
cool.
but not with newer stuff. Yeah, I remember putting that thing together, and because that was the first. What didn't we have a problem with the head gaskets or something?
No, we thought we did. I thought we did. And then I called that guy from Gibbs Racing, and he's like, "Tom, is it a Chevy?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "Is it a Chevy block?" "Yeah." And why wouldn't you put a regular Chevy gasket on it?
Oh yeah. That's right. We were looking at buying some kind of gasket
Yeah.
or doing something. I said,
I think I confused that whole thing.
yeah.
I'm sure I did.
That's a cool idea, though.
And if you remember, it's DFI, which you know a little bit about, but we kind of struggled to get the thing running. And we just made a couple of warm-up hits. And then the thing, you got it to make 605 horsepower on your dyno.
Did we run it with a carburetor too, or just with the injection?
We might have run it first with a carburetor.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
or maybe we made that with a
What was
carburetor.
the compression on that?
was something normal.
11-1.
Level
Yeah,
1? Okay.
something normal.
So 94 octane, 93 octane?
Yeah, just pump gas. I don't remember what we ran it on.
Wow. But that's different.
Yeah, see, that computer was just straight up volumetric efficiency
Yeah.
and everything. That was out of my.
Oh no, we did. We did do it. We made the power with the injection because I remember we couldn't get the VE right, and we had to lie to it about fuel pressure. We turned the fuel pressure up to get it right.
Okay. Yeah, because it's just probably because they didn't know enough about it.
Yeah.
I mean, all my
Yeah.
programming had always been done in a cell and a map, and that was
Right.
kind of it.
Right.
And this was different.
Yep.
This was very different.
Yeah, that sounds different. I want to see that car, man.
Yeah, the
Don't
SB2
forget
is a
to
neat,
send me the
is a neat
pictures
head to
then.
play with. That was one iteration of Rick Moroso's dad's car was
Yeah.
an SB2 monstrosity.
Actually, I know I have a picture of the motor.
I liked the putting an SB2 together was neat.
Yeah.
It's a neat, and it's a nice cylinder head. Like you look at it and you're just like, wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
right.
pretty.
It's
The
like
header,
it's right.
the header configuration is crazy coming out, too.
Yeah, it looks. It's
The
neat.
angles.
It's neat. Everything about it's neat.
Yeah, that thing was cool. It is cool. And,
When-
and I'm going to be driving it this this spring.
Well, then you'll be way ahead of me because I can't even find a reasonable Malibu. I had a friend of mine that had one that was an old lady car.
Everybody wants too much. For
I know.
Malibus.
It was an old lady car. It would have been like next to nothing, and swore to me it was a 2-door, a 4-door. I'm like, fuck. And then my friend Joey, they crushed one like this past summer.
Yeah,
Dude, I didn't know.
he didn't even.
And the one I have is a station wagon.
Yep.
Huh?
No, there you go.
I have a 4-door Malibu station wagon. Well, a friend of mine, Steve Irvin, he has it.
The wagons are terribly hard to find anymore.
He gave up on it. He said, "Look, come get it. Do what you want. You can have it." So it's been sitting for about a year. So I might just slap it together. Nice paint.
Solid?
Yeah, it is. It's nice and solid. Interior is good. I already put the music and stuff in it. I had all that done first. The motor's brand new. So just has to go get paint. It looks crazy.
So it's almost done. I don't need an almost done.
Yeah,
I've got all the parts.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I might have to.
Spend more than you want to get what you want.
Yeah.
I've sent you some pictures. Of
How
some
hard have
very
you really
clean ones.
looked?
I want an old lady virgin. Oh, that sounded so bad.
Oh, that has to be on the list. That has to be on the
God,
list.
I didn't mean it like that. I mean, I want, an old lady car.
Right.
Never messed with.
Never been
That
touched by
the
a performance
grandkid
guy.
didn't fucking drop a 350 in that his neighbor's guy that works on lawnmowers helped him build, that he thinks it makes 900 horsepower. I just want a 90-degree little V6 piece of crap Malibu, powder blue, whatever.
See, they went up in price because
Slip covers on the seats.
because of the G body.
I know.
Powder blue.
Everybody's G body this, G body that.
I've had that car in 86. That's actually 85 is when I started messing with that thing. And everybody's like, what the hell are you doing with that? That's grandma's car. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, I think everybody in our circle kind of like mentally skipped over the Malibus until you got one. It's like, fuck, not bad.
Yeah, they're neat cars. I broke so many rear ends in that fucking thing. My God.
I remember trying to make, what was it, a 2-inch big block header for work in that chassis, and that was a torture.
Yeah, no, that's another reason it would be a tube car because I know all the things that are wrong, like with the car. So yeah, the front end would be a tube.
Yeah,
for sure.
front and back.
Nice shocks.
They make a lot of stuff aftermarket for them.
I'm sure they do now.
G-body.
Back when I was doing it, if you needed a rear done, you had to get a Grand National rear, or you had to find a 12-bolt from a very specific year Chevelle because it was narrow.
Right.
And then you had to change your offset of your tires to move and it still wasn't exactly perfect.
Right.
There was a lot of things that were wrong. And then
No, they stuck out. I still have the rear.
Yep. And then they got into the Curie stuff. They had some that were like kind of half fabricated housings and now it's readily available. I mean, you just, what do you need?
You Moser.
Yep. Moser, pick up telephone. Hey, need a rear.
Yep,
Like, no problem.
Got 3 on the shelf. We'll ship it today.
Yep. What gear set you need? No problem. Got a forklift? I mean, it's all they'll ask you.
Might not go back and forth. But
It might not move, but got a forklift. You still looking for a picture, Tom? We'll have to put that up on a website
I'll
so
find
people
it.
can say.
I'll find it.
Yeah,
You know,
I want to
for-
see the car.
For whatever reason, I have a picture of a goat on top of a goat, but I don't have a picture of my engine.
That's really strange. I bet there's a whole bunch of pictures in there I sent you, aren't there?
Yeah.
Whole bunch of Subaru Forester pictures and
Yeah,
various
yeah.
wedding parties.
Alan, I think these are stabs.
Yeah.
Little
They are.
jabs.
All right. Well, it's been a good show now.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the most important thing to take away from all this stuff is that, we are all car people. I mean, we love cars. We love horsepower. We love everything about this stuff. And, some shows are going to be good. Some are going to be bad. And, I hate to pick on Street Outlaws all the time. I really do. But they're just, I don't know, man.
I don't mind picking on them.
I know you don't because you
A
just
love-hate
really don't like the
relationship.
show.
I really don't.
They're idiots, and I like the show.
Okay.
I don't know what more I can say. I watch it every week, so yeah, I'm paying for it. I guess if they're if the advertisers are getting money from me because they feel that they're reaching their target. I guess I'm probably in their target. Thinking about what
Well,
their demographic
they knew
is.
how to hit all the car guys.
Yeah,
You
yeah, and I got to tell you the Grudge race show, if that's real, and if that comes to be, I'm curious about the format, but I hope they keep it real. I hope it's real.
If it's real, it'll be good.
Yep. And
as long as it's true to form.
I
it'll be-
agree.
It'll be good.
all right.
Just don't call it pinks and they're off to a good start.
All right. Any closing information from anybody?
No, we're out.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. And thanks again. Thanks for listening. Thanks for pushing us to other people if you can. Appreciate it.
Yep.
See ya.
See you again.